us to welcome at this juncture Nikita. Says it to relay. Tawa buchara dinare longa. Hey, I got so her. Nikita Makwana, in the past 5 years, she has worked as an intercultural strategist, helping individuals, executives, and teams to manage the difficult and complex processes that come with working in global teams. Clientele and expatriates, international collaboration, or performing projects in multicultural settings. She was selected as a 2023 Forbes Under 30 Summit Africa delegate as a change maker and entrepreneur in the field of diversity, inclusion, language, and culture. She holds master's degree in international education of Chinese from Beijing Language and Culture University, China, and bachelor's degree in sinology. Oh, it's my first time to hear this one. Sinology, the study of sin. Kanajan, because I was taught that ology means studying, the study. So study of sin, sinology. From the University of Botswana, she holds a cultural intelligence for teams certificate from the Cultural Intelligence Center in United States. She has worked with both national and international organizations to lecture Chinese to speakers of different languages, including University of Botswana, Botswana International University of Science and Technology, Okavango Research Institute, and the Prime Coaching, International Language Hub, Bosetu, Bears, and more. She founded Global Ready Communications, a consulting firm that promotes greater diversity and inclusion. In addition to the internationalization of local brands, it provides training in areas such as culture intelligence, emotional intelligence, team building, and cultural competence. I think what she teaches is very important, because we are living in a global village. So I don't know how many people understand Chinese in Botswana. So this is an opportunity to contact her and learn a few words in Chinese, so that when Chinese come here, because the president always say no, to hear, so that when the president's friends from China come here, you are the first one to greet them in Chinese, and they just fall in love with you. No, fall in love. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to waste any time. Let's take this time to welcome Makwana.
Wow. Hello, everybody. And I love the fact that he made all of you to smile. I'm a very enthusiastic person. I love life. And those who spend time with me, they know that I value joy so much. I guess I'm ticking the box when it comes to mental health, right? Like he just said, my name is Nikita Makwana. And when we were preparing for this summit, we were having conversations with Mr. Makwana on what I should talk about, and I had to go through a couple of things or questions that people usually ask me. Number one, I was looking at the questions that your students that I lecture in the university ask me when it comes to preparing for jobs. And then after that, I did a comparison, taking a look at what I was told I should do when I graduate, or when I go, when I finish school, or when I'm going to the university. And when I did a contrast, I noticed that I'm not sure if I'll give them that kind of advice. today, because we were told that education is there. Is it still the key or they changed the lock? After we got the key, right? Okay. Another thing that I was looking at are the frequently asked questions when I'm doing my coaching sessions, when I'm working with professionals, your CEOs, people who are working with diverse teams. And then I had to find a topic that I hope a university student looks at this topic and then they are able to apply the principles that I share with them. And I also hope a professional like yourself can look at this very topic, these principles, apply them, and succeed. So, what I've put together for you, or should I say my topic for today, is cultivating a global mindset to thrive in the global economy. He just said it right, we are living in the global economy. I think where we are working, we have heard words like, the company is going global. Huh? Have you heard something like that? And what does globalization really mean? What do companies really mean when they're saying they're going global? Are they moving the buildings internationally? Is that what the companies are doing? In my opinion, it's something like expanding the market, tapping into markets that they have never tapped into before. If you look at the schools that we have today, of course I'm an educator and I'm going to give you examples from school as well. You realize that the University of Botswana, for example, we have students from Botswana, students from Zambia, students from this country, students from that country, right? Just in case you are thinking of globalization as something that is far from you, I wanted to bring it to your attention that you're already in there. And you, my friend, are global. Can you look at somebody next to you and tell them that you are global? Do you know that you are global? Great. And when you look at the companies that you are working for today, you are going to see people from different countries. People from China, people from India, people from South Africa. Some are male, some are female. That's a level of diversity on its own. So basically, we are global citizens, right? When your companies are saying, we are going global, we are becoming global, we are tapping into the international market, they're actually saying, we are inviting people that are different, we are collaborating with people that are different. And as a professional, you are a service provider. The question that I have for you is, how ready are you for globalization? I'm not gonna ask you are you global? We have established that already, right? When I talk to people, professionals about globalization, I'm more focused on the mindset. That's why I talk about cultivating a global mindset. You know, there is a famous saying that the last thing that a fish recognizes is the water. I'm always in the water. I don't pay attention to the water until you take me out, right? Most people, most professionals, they don't notice that they are global. Actually, globalization is happening to a lot of professionals. You are just there put with people that you don't know and you don't care. All you do about is to complain like, hey, Chinese people are always early. Hey, Botswana are always late. I will spare you for now. Right? So when you cultivate a global mindset, you start first by being aware of where you are. You start being aware of who you are working with. Understanding that even before we talk about we talk about different nationalities, etc., different gender, different sexual orientations, all these things, just by being human, you are different from somebody who is sitting next to you. Your thoughts are different from that person. There is a story that I love to share a lot when I talk about globalization. And usually before I do that, I share a very key element that if you can't remember anything from what I'm going to teach you today, is this very concept. If you are writing notes, put it down and write cultural intelligence. So I know we talk a lot about emotional intelligence, being able to control your emotions. It doesn't stop there, and influencing the emotions of others. When I was studying for my master's degree in Beijing, I came across a very interesting concept of cultural intelligence, and it really got me thinking, what is cultural intelligence? And I started researching on this topic. I remember I took a couple of modules just to understand what does cultural intelligence really mean. And I got to find out that trusted sources like HBR say that cultural intelligence is a determining factor for success. That is for anybody who is a leader, anybody who is a professional, and everybody who is very much alive in the 21st century, especially after COVID-19. Where now, because of technology, the world is so connected. It is so easy to talk to somebody in China, and it's so easy to talk to somebody in the US. It's so easy to work and collaborate with people that are different from you. So just to make the concept very simple for you, cultural intelligence is your ability to thrive in environments that are not familiar. We know here we have doctors, we have lawyers, we have lecturers, we have coaches, we have all these amazing people. We have farmers in the room. But these professionals, sometimes when you put them in a different country, or you give them an assignment to work with people that are not Botswana, and then maybe by that time, my friend here just shared with us that he's a farmer. So basically, he has Badisa Gohai. Maybe these Badisa are people from Botswana or people from Zim. But what are you going to do if you're going to give you a Mudisa from the USA? Mudisa Alokoa. What are you going to do with that Mudisa? Are you going to be able to work and collaborate with this Mudisa very well? Some of you here are exceptional leaders. You're doing amazing, amazing work where you are. You are thriving because you are in Botswana. When we shuffle the team a little bit, you start to suffocate. I don't understand how Magana Babereka Ngati. I don't understand how Nigeria Babereka Ngati. What is being challenged there is not necessarily your emotions. What is being challenged there is your cultural intelligence. Are you aware of who you are sitting next to? Are you aware of who you are leading? Are you aware of those who are following you? So if you ask me about cultural intelligence and how to develop cultural intelligence, I always put it in the most simplest form. If you are a farmer, it's basically applying every beautiful thing that you know about farming and making sure that you tailor it for the people that you are serving. If you ask me about global leadership or leading global teams, international teams, and you ask me what is it, I will tell you, it's basically taking everything that you know about leadership and tailor it for the people that you are serving. If you ask me about motherhood and putting it together with cultural intelligence, I will tell you that is you taking everything that you know about motherhood and tailor it per every child, because your children are different. Thank you. So when you talk about cultural intelligence, I know you are here because of business, you are thriving and these, but cultural intelligence also applies in your house. It applies in your home. If you dated somebody from Kasane, like I'm from Kasane, right? Basically, I would think maybe if I'm frying that fish, because people from Kasane, we love fish, right? And we have tsui, there is a name for it, malishengu, isn't it? Yeah, so you are going that, what catches this man's heart is the fish, is the malishengu, and is the tsui etc, right? And then God is going to slap you with somebody from Bubirwa, and maybe they're not looking forward to the fish, right? To having the fish. They don't like it. Actually, after you cook it, you're gonna feel like, I've done this person a favor. And then only to find out, he didn't prefer that. All you're doing is just trying to be maybe a good wife. But you didn't tailor the service for the person you are serving. So it applies everywhere. When you have your friends who are coming from different countries, I'll give this example because today we have somebody here who is coming from India, right? So when you are working with Indian people, for instance, you offer them something, maybe let's say it's lunch and you guys are colleagues. You are trying to be nice, and you are having that moroho and pap, right? In Zim, they'll call it sadza namrio, right? Yes. So you want to give this your friend for tasting. The first time they're gonna say no. And usually what do you do when people say no? In Africa, you eat. Because the person said no. Isn't it what we do, guys? Actually, for some of us, you are giving but praying that the person says no. You know, I'm giving you, but I'm hoping that you say no. So that is one of the aspects that I've paid attention when it comes to most Asian cultures. You offer them something for the very first time, they're gonna say no. Actually, they're hoping that you ask again. And then they're gonna, no. And then ask me again. And then, no, ask me again. You get what I'm saying? Am I telling the truth? So guys, if you have offered him something, he said no, I tell you right now, he wants it so bad. He wants it so bad, so you better offer that thing to him again. So that is one thing that you're going to recognize about cultures. The way that we do things, most of the time, is influenced by the lens that we have, right? Our cultural lens. The way that you're cooking, the way that you're serving is influenced by your cultural lens. You are expecting people to come early to the event because you are Chinese, and these people are Botswana. And you are going to fire them week in and week out because you have not figured out that if you want them to come at 8, tell them the meeting is at 6 a.m. Right? So those are some of the things. Maybe these are far-fetched examples, but I'll give you an example. Some time ago, I was working with the Chinese people and I was the only black person there. Not internationally, guys. It was right here in Botswana, right here in Gaborone. And then after some time, they sent me to Okavango Research Institute, the other UB campus. So I was basically lecturing Chinese there. But it was a very unstable work contract. And it was in the middle of COVID. And we all know that by that time, people were losing clients. Students, people were more focusing on being alive than learning the Chinese language. So some students dropped, okay? So if I'm working with the Chinese lecturers, and I'm the only Botswana, they are far from home. Automatically, they are far from home. And if there's anybody that they really need to pay attention to take care of, are the Chinese people, right? So one time, when I was in Maung, I received a message from my Chinese supervisor. And he called me by my Chinese name, Nikita, basically, that is Nikita, how are you doing? How is school? And how is work? How are the students that side? And then I said to him, of course, when I received that message, I was wondering why was he asking me these questions? I thought about it for a while. What he was asking me is, how is school? How is work? How is family? And I gave him an honest answer that the numbers are dropping. After we spoke, by that time I was still dating Mr. Makwana, I picked my phone and I told him, I said, I'm about to lose my job. And he asked me a question, what makes you think you're about to lose your job? And I told him, my supervisor, actually, who is the director, asked me how I am doing, how my family is doing, how is the work, and how are the numbers. And he said to me, he's a good boss. He's just checking up on you. Why would you think he's firing you? And then I broke it down to him, but he felt like I'm being, very unreasonable. And I told him that in the Chinese culture, hierarchy is very, very strict. You don't wake up in the morning. I don't have a PhD. My job is not permanent. I don't have long time of service with you. So the hierarchy is so huge. And more of that, the age gap is so big. So with the Chinese people, you would know the hierarchy is a serious thing. They don't bend to check what the subordinates are doing. It's all about giving instructions, obeying the elders and the leaders. Why is he checking on me? What is he looking for? This doesn't sound like him. I've worked with him since I came here. He never asked me how I'm doing. What is he looking for? And he felt, no, you're just being paranoid. What I did on the very same day, I started typing application letters. And I started packing, like literally, I started packing my things. Those who were owing me, I went to start collecting my money in Maung, right? And he kept, Kante, what's going on there? And I'm telling him, I'm actually about to be fired and I'm getting ready. And I started knocking in different companies, looking for a job. Within 4 weeks, ladies and gentlemen, I was fired. What the Chinese supervisor was trying to do is to alert me that, hello, fire is coming, and I'm not gonna be the bearer of bad news. So you gotta find a way of understanding what I'm saying. In Chinese, there's what we call Wei Wan. Wei Wan means indirect speech. The Chinese people are not like most of us. We are very direct. If we don't like you, we don't like you, and we show you. The Chinese people, they just smile. And you have seen that, we have seen that as well, yeah, in many cultures, right? So, my ability to understand who I'm working with helped me and saved me from heartbreak. If I didn't know how they work, how they think, if I didn't know anything about the hierarchy, if I didn't know that they are a high context culture, you know, I was just going to sit back there and wait for the letter. But I had to find out that they're firing me. So with you developing cultural intelligence is your ability to hear unspoken conversations. With cultural intelligence, even when people are quiet, you can hear them. That's how powerful cultural intelligence is. With cultural intelligence, when an employer says, no, I can't give you increment, you can hear it even before they open their mouth to say it. I'm not talking about assumption. I'm talking about your ability to understand how your supervisor works. Your ability to understand that this person doesn't like me, this person won't give me the opportunity. Hearing that even before they say it. Going online and finding out how do they say no. There are people who will never say, no, we don't have the money to increase. They'll tell you, we're going to think about it. And you're going to wait for somebody who is not thinking about anything. Because you have not made an effort to understand the person that you are working with. As an employer, as an employee, know your people, know your team. It will save you from heartbreaks, unnecessary heartbreaks. As a man who is working with women in your team, there are certain traits that women have. They're natural, and you should know those things. You shouldn't wait to be reminded. You should not make comments about women's weight. It's cultural intelligence. It's a sensitive topic to most women. And we know that, right? But sometimes we just don't know the term for it. There are certain things that, you know, if I say this thing to this person, it's not going to sit well with them, right? In your day-to-day relationships with your lecturers, with your managers, with your employees, etc., there are things that, you know, if I say this thing, I'm fired. If I say this thing, I'm not getting promoted. If I say this thing, oh my God, the work is coming. So it's not about knowing the bad thing about people. Also, you should know the best things about people. You should, as a manager, as a leader, know how to authentically appreciate your employees. And authentic appreciation of your employees, of your followers, is not about telling them, oh, guys, we are going for a team building. That's not authentic appreciation. Find out what do my teams want? What do my teams like? And don't think of them as teams only. Think of them as individuals. Your leader is an individual. She is or he is an individual. You must understand what is it that when I say this thing to this person, it brings healing to them. When I'm speaking to this person, their spirit is lifted. And what is it that I know about this person that if maybe I speak these words is gonna tear them apart. So your knowledge about people as well, I must emphasize, it can refresh the people, and you can also use it as a weapon. Because if you know that making comments about my weight breaks me, and then with all the information that you have, all the observation that you have, you still drop that on me. That's a bomb. So I'm hoping from here, all of us make an intentional decision to go out there and know our team members. We go out there and know our supervisors. Intentionally, not based on what you heard about them, not based on what your colleagues said about them. Go have conversations with your employer. Go and have conversations with your employee. When you do that, you are cultivating a global mindset. You can't survive in today's market without knowledge, without understanding the people you are working with. Are we together on that one? Since I'm talking to professionals today, I wanted to touch on one of the most important elements as well as you are cultivating the mindset, a global mindset. I have seen people that I have personally coached, people that I've worked with or had conversations with, transitioning just by positioning themselves very well online. Ladies and gentlemen, most of us, especially in our country, we don't use social media the same way people in other countries are using it. A normal person, or if you take a normal TikTok, ya Botswana, and then you look at it, it's always Adi Wele. Adi. You get? There is nothing wrong with music. There is nothing wrong with you having fun online. But if you want to really be looked at or perceived as a global expert, you better start positioning yourself well. It doesn't matter whether you are an employee, you are an employer, an entrepreneur. Take advantage of your social media. Don't post what's convenient. Post something that will sell you. Not so long ago, I went to the Kingdom of Eswatini and I was training a team of professionals. And I said something that I could see the room they didn't like what I said, but I'm happy that today I'm having testimonials of that, how that is helping them. What I said to them is, if you are fired today, I understand. But if you are unemployed, I can't understand. If we have Botswana in this young Botswana, they will start throwing stones at me. And I'm saying that because after COVID-19, it's like the world paused and everybody started from zero. Like literally everybody had a chance to reinvent themselves. If you wanted to sing, you have the opportunity to sing. By the way, I actually released my very first music during the COVID. I did. After singing in church for so long, social media helped me to do that, to reinvent myself. After I got fired, I recognized that it was not easy for me to get a job. I went home and then I thought, what is it that I've done for this company? I know I'm fired and I know I'm sad. I know I don't like them right now, but I can't give that as an excuse. I noticed that since I joined the institution, it was growing rapidly because the students were excited to be taught by a black person speaking Chinese fluently. You know what I did? I took my phone, click, and started teaching Chinese, put the videos online. Ladies, gentlemen, I run a language school. I started with just me. Yeah. It was just me teaching Chinese. Today I have hired French teachers. I don't teach French. I've hired English teachers. I don't teach English. I've hired Setswana teachers. If my boss didn't fire me, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done that. The school is running, and now we have also as well partnered with EdTech and Brainstream. That's because I made an intentional decision that I'm going to position myself as an expert. You can't have your company, you can't have people that you are working with to be the only ones that know that you are a great banker. Huh? Why is it that only 3 people know that you are good? Why are you confining yourself in that space? There is no limits. There is no telling in how far your expertise can go. Click that TikTok and teach about finance, because that's what you do. Leave those baboons to Tection. He will post them because that's his field. Well, now go and post what you are good at. If you are a singer, start singing, put it online. You don't have to pay, just put it on TikTok. You don't know who is going to buy. Go online, post whatever that you are doing, put it on TikTok, because you are global and your mind, your skills, your expertise are not only limited to Botswana market. That's a global mindset. Start selling yourself well. The final thing that I want to talk about, I know when we look at employees, employers, we are looking at profit. But I want to touch on this very final thing. In whatever that you are doing, whatever field that you are in, develop a heart for people. Ladies, gentlemen, we serve people. We work with people. When you check out, make sure that whatever that you did, it had impact on people. Some of us don't realize that being a lawyer, Mambewe, is a calling and is liberating. I have taken advantage of being a lecturer and used it as my pulpit to transform the lives of young people. So whatever field that you are in, whether it's in medicine or whatever that you are passionate about, ask yourself one question: how am I transforming people? How am I changing people? I believe that if we can have employees and employers who have a heart for people, we wouldn't have toxic work environments. We wouldn't have workplaces where people are only taking care of themselves and they don't care about the next person. And I know that most of you want to be leaders. Some of you are already leaders. One of the person that I love to listen to and to read his books is John C. Maxwell. He said something that changed my mind. He said, great leaders are enlargers. How are you enlarging people in your organization? Whether you are a leader or you are an employee, and remember, employees are also leaders. How are you enlarging people? How are you transforming people's lives? And I love a quote that says, if you don't have a heart for people, stay as far as possible from leadership. Do you have a heart for people? That's the question that I want you to think about as you are going home. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.